Is it bad writing, or did you just not like the thing? Hello there, welcome back to Bits and Scripts, where media literacy is still alive and well. It seems like these days everybody is a professional movie reviewer. It seems like everyone on the internet knows all the building blocks that go into making a film, or at least they would like to think they do. You'll see a lot of critiques these days, especially in fandom corners, where a lot of the critiques for things are bad writing. And a lot of times when someone has the opinion that something has bad writing, it's usually because they just didn't like the thing. And in every fandom space, whether it be Star Wars, whether it be Marvel, DC, Doctor Who, what have you, every single fandom has that critique that something has bad writing. And it's always for the newer stuff. And with current releases like The Acolyte and the new season of Doctor Who, oh, and how can I forget the new season of The Boys? All of those new releases have a plethora of people on the internet saying that these things have bad writing. And the most annoying part is when someone will say, oh, it's objectively bad writing. The writing is objectively bad. Everybody thinks it's bad. However, for every one person you run into that will say something is bad writing, you're bound to run into somebody else who thinks the writing is phenomenal. For every 100 people that dislike something, you'll have 100 people that do like it. And this is because film, television, like all art forms, are completely subjective. The script of a film or a TV show is that film or TV show on the paper. When you're watching the things on the screen, those same things are written on that paper. It is the paper brought to life. If the quality of a finished film is subjective, then the script for it is also subjective. And there are a lot of people on the internet that need the reality check. That just because you think something is bad writing does not mean that it's a fact that is bad writing. Does not mean that the script for this thing is objectively bad. It's just you and a few others that think that way. Because you're always going to have a whole other group that thinks the opposite of you. That are going to think that besides some things here and there, the script was fine. The way this was written was fine. There is such a thing called personal taste. And there are a lot of things that affect your personal taste. For example, your personal views or your personal values can affect how you digest media. And those views could be something like religious beliefs or political beliefs. If you're critical about the writing in a franchise you've liked for a really long time, part of what affects that critique is the feeling that you got the very first time you submerged yourself into that thing. For example, if you've been a fan of Star Wars since you were like 5 years old, but now you're 40, and you find yourself hating on a lot of the new stuff, and then you go online and you comment saying that it's just bad writing. Part of the reason why your judgment goes that way is because when you were a kid, you had that certain spark when you watched that stuff. You had that nostalgia. But watching the newer stuff that's been out for a few years now, you might not feel that same spark. You might not feel that same feeling of nostalgia. And now, because you didn't get that dopamine rush you were hoping for when you watched this thing, you're gonna blame it on bad writing. But that's okay. I've explained in another video that it's alright to outgrow the things that you used to love. Because chances are, that's the case. Now, I'm about to use a word that some of you don't like to hear. There are a lot of people on this rock that we live on. Which means that there are a lot of diverse interpretations of things. Meaning that not everyone is going to see things the same way as you do. Everybody has a different way of looking at things. And when it comes to judging the quality of something's writing, all opinions, all interpretations are valid. If you think something has bad writing, then it's bad writing. That's just your point of view. If somebody else thinks that that same thing has good writing, then it has good writing because that's their point of view. At the end of the day, it's important to remember that we respect each other's opinions. That we respect the fact that everybody looks at things differently. Even if you are an expert in film critique, that does not mean that you are right about something. It does not mean that you are the authority on it. Because even critics will have different views and different interpretations of things. So when it comes to the writing of a TV show or a movie you just watched, and you are about to go on the internet and comment that it was bad writing, ask yourself this question first. A question I asked in the beginning of this video. Was it really bad writing, or did I just not like it? And let's remember that, like all art, film is subjective. If you liked the video, go ahead and give the video a like, press that subscribe button, and until next time, good night everybody.